Well, if you find that your rectangle is not sitting quite where it should, when you select the rectangle, if, for the sake of argument, the centre X and centre Y seem to be rather odd numbers, well, that's indicating that the rectangle is not sitting quite in the correct position. What we want, in fact, is for the X value, the centre of it, to be 2,500. So you can just change it there, 2,500, and then the Y value to be 1,500, and I'll unselect all, and you can see that the rectangle has jumped back down into its sort of proposed position. And really the only reason to have you type 0, 0 for the start point and 5,000, 3,000 for the end point is what we've had you do is to set that point down there and this point up here. And we want you to start thinking about the X direction, which is to the right of screen, and the Y direction, which is straight up, or negative Y would be straight down. There's no essential reason that you should position things as we've said using those pairs of coordinates. You can simply draw a rectangle and put it anywhere you like. So if I drew a rectangle, 2 points, just clicked and then pulled away, I could actually just draw the rectangle like so, click in there and then change its width to 5,000 and its height to 3,000. And we've achieved the same thing as we did here where we used pairs of coordinates. This time we've just clicked, roughly drawn a rectangle, and then given its correct dimensions. You might notice when I select this one here that the little, it's not an arrow, is it? It's just a line and an extension with a little knob. Now that's used to rotate entities. When I select on this one here, you can see it's actually been rotated through 90 degrees. So you can spin anything you like by, once you click on it, if you get that little handle, let's take, for the sake of argument, one of these symbols here. I'll move it and put it across. Now as I move it across, you see it's locked into the horizontal line, and I'll right click and unselect all. The reason that I move that from its position near the grass here across to the right and it stayed in the line is because the ortho switch is on. See down here in the status line. Now if I pick another one, this one here, and I move it, you can see I can move it wherever I like. Now let's move this one, say, into what will become a garden bed area. You can just rotate things just by clicking on that line and spinning things. That becomes quite handy if I copy that one and move it and do that. And you see that as we zoom in now, every one of these has got the same rotation angle. And if you spin things around just by changing the position, that gives you a less computer-generated view of your drawing just by rotating things. So can you see that selecting an entity and just using some of the handles that are on the entity, you can do all sorts of things. So if I pick that one, I could spin that around and go click. Now my rectangle is running straight up the screen in the Y direction. So I hope that helps you gain a little confidence with the use of that rectangle command. We perhaps should not have insisted on you put that at 0, 0 and this one at 5,000, 3,000. Maybe that's giving you a bit of unnecessary information at this stage of your learning. Do experiment by holding the mouse down and dragging to the right and practice zooming in, and you might even practice spinning some of these entities around as we've just shown. So gaining some confidence in manipulating your drawing early on is really important.